Hello, you awesome friends. This is your pal, Edwards here speaking. Welcome back to an interview with Edward. It's an absolute pleasure to have you with us. And I'll tell you what, our show has taken off globally because of you, because of all your viewers and the great people we have on there. Now, we've got one of our wonderful friends from New Jersey. He's a freshman from Rutgers Business School, and he's just founded his own agency, Dakota Digital Agency, which is very, very cool. He's already picked up some top clients, and this guy's amazing. And the reason why I'm on the show is he's not only very good looking, I want to hear his raw, real story. Dakota, how are you today?
I'm good, Edward. How's it going? Thanks for having me today. I really appreciate it.
Oh, it's an honor. I understand it's 6 p.m. Saturday over there right now.
Yeah, I understand it's 8 a.m. Sunday there right now. Crazy stuff.
Different sides of the world. I won't keep you from your Saturday night. I just want to quickly talk to you and say thank you again for coming on the show. Dakota, you've done an amazing job in the time that I've known you. Can you tell us a little about you and what you do and how you help people with your company?
Yeah, of course. So I'm a freshman at Rutgers Business School, as you said. And Rutgers, it really introduced me to the power of networking. That was where I really discovered, it was in-person networking back then, but that's where I really discovered how powerful it is to build all these meaningful connections. I went to all these club events. I went to all of these networking events. I got involved in so many ways, built so many connections. And then that kind of led me to the beginning of quarantine. And I felt lost. I didn't really have anything to do. And I currently, my passion was already marketing. I already had an internship last summer, which I loved. And so I realized that I had to start networking with people. I had to take it digital, and I had to utilize my LinkedIn, which I already was building up, but not taking too seriously, not dedicating a large amount of time. So I started networking and started reaching out to people who do digital marketing, people who do content creation, just every kind of aspect. And I instilled this mindset to where I genuinely want to learn the lives about all these people, because each person can teach me something valuable in their own different way. And that kind of led me to where I am now. And that's how I met you, Edward, just networking, talking to all these amazing people. And each person has kind of guided me along the way, in their own kind of different sense. And you've helped me the most. You've really been such an incredible help. And that's why it's such an honor to be here. So yeah, it's just a little backstory. Yeah.
Oh, and it's an absolute pleasure. And I've got to say, again, I'm not asking for any confidential information, so please feel free to hide the identity. But you've picked up some very high-end clients that I know you may or may not be able to talk about, which I completely
Yeah.
respect. How did you pick up those high-end clients? How did you go about that? You're just starting out, as you said, you're a freshman. You're at Rutgers Business School from New Jersey, and you're picking up these high-end clients. How did you do it? Of course, protecting all the confidential details.
Yeah, so I would love to say the name of the company, but I'm not sure how all the compliance and stuff works.
Don't say it. Just don't
I'm
say
not
it.
sure. Yeah, I
Yeah, don't
won't
say
say
it. Don't say it.
basically, it all it ties back into networking, and that's my main message. I would say for long term, to where I want to scale my brand itself, just the power of networking. So basically, these two clients who I have now, one of them who he is an executive in a Fortune 500 company in the United States. He actually was a past connection of mine, and I connected with him about 4 months ago on LinkedIn, and it just started with a simple, innocent conversation. And, it just kind of went on from there. And I wasn't really expecting anything from it. He wasn't really expecting anything from it because he was just trying to network and talk to people. And he found out that I wanted to do digital marketing, and it kind of tied into that. And I started doing some work for him, and he loved what I put out. So yeah, now he's a client, full-time client, and trying to put out some really good results for him. And my other client as well, I actually met him at Rutgers. I met him in person at a networking event, and it goes back into networking. Like I said, in the beginning of quarantine, I started talking to people, reaching out to all these past connections, and I reached out to him. We had a really long phone call, and he's a mortgage advisor, and he told me about how he's struggling with getting leads and how he had a past digital kind of media guy, and that guy was not doing the job for him. And just, what do you know? There you go. He said, I would love to have you kind of work for me. And he trusted me, and I said, yeah, I need people, I need clients. I need to put out results if I want to build a business, if I want to build a brand. And so for 2 months, I've been working with him, and I've already scaled his LinkedIn over 2,000 connections. He's getting so many messages daily. He's gotten a few leads from LinkedIn, actually, which has been incredible. So yeah.
And I just have to say on that note, I mean, and I say this positively with absolute admiration, and I've worked with thousands of people across the world. I did not learn how to network properly till probably my mid-30s, and a lot of people don't. A lot of people don't know how to network. I have awesome people in their 30s and 40s who I teach how to network, and you're like way younger than 30 and you know how to network. How did you learn how to network, Dakota? Because I tell you what, it's so impressive. You have beaten the curve by at least a decade. How did you learn how to network, and how have you pulled it off so effectively?
So how did I learn how to network? That's a good question. I would really say it's a mindset. Networking is a mindset, and you learn from putting yourself out there. There's no other way to learn other than putting yourself out there and making that decision to go to that club and pushing yourself. There were so many times my first semester where, here's a great example. So I didn't want to go to this one club. There was an NFL speaker, an NFL guy, football, who was speaking there. And I kind of didn't want to go because I had a lot of homework. I was kind of tired. And I ended up pushing myself, and I went. And that guy, I ended up staying there from 8 p.m. to 12 a.m. And now that guy's a very close connection of mine. I was actually going to organize a speech with him at Rutgers Business School, but it got canceled. So going back to the whole how I learned, it's just really from putting yourself out there. You got to make that decision to kind of cross the line, and you'll get better and better as it goes. And the thing that I've realized, the word networking, it really scared me at first because it just sounds so networking. It's just business. And it just sounds very intimidating to people. Sounds like you have to put across some different image of yourself, some crazy professional image that's not even you. That's not true. Networking it's literally just, it's what you do with your family. It's what you do with your friends. You're connecting with people, and you're giving them because you care, and you actually want to give them value, and they'll want to give it back. And that's how you get jobs. That's how you, yeah.
I was just going to say, that's so well put. It's one thing I want to commend you on. Imagine if you didn't go that night. Imagine if you gave into your fatigue, you gave into your
I can't even imagine.
Your life would be totally different if you did not. There'll be a real sliding doors moment if you didn't go that night.
Yeah, that honestly changed my life. What he talked about podcasts, digital media, and that, in a sense, was, I would say, the beginning kind of seed of this whole journey that I'm on now, because he filmed that whole thing. He was producing content, having all these different podcasts. He was talking about Gary Vee, and he really it was really just an instrumental moment. And it made me feel so close, like there's such a close community at Rutgers, even though there's 52,000 people. And it was just a really cool moment because I went to this club and there's about 30 people there. It wasn't even a big event. And in a school of 52,000 people, there are 30 like-minded individuals who wanted to learn about this entrepreneur NFL player who does real estate. And we were all brought together there. And some of the people, I actually met other students there. Not even did I meet the NFL player, I connected with other students there. One person who I actually became very, very good friends with, which is crazy. I can go on and on about connections. So it's amazing.
And you are a networking pro, right? And I will say this again. I will say this again to make this point to the audience. And I really want this to sink in for our beautiful viewers around the world. I did not learn how to network till my properly, the way you're doing it, till my sort of early to mid 30s. And I love the way that you go about it and you're willing to put yourself out there. I want to ask you, if someone's really scared of networking and they don't want to get into it, What are some of your tips, Dakota, to those people who are really scared to help them get out there?
I think it can definitely help if you're starting with people who have the same interests as you, because it makes it a lot easier to bridge that gap and make you less scared. So let's say there's you do meetups, right? Let's
Yeah.
say let's say you find a meetup with people who love the exact thing that you do. They all love dogs, for example. You go to there. That's networking. You're going with people who have the same interests as you. So I would say find people with the same commonalities. And like I said before, don't think of it as that you have to get something from it. Because from my experience, if you think that you have to get something from it, it puts a lot more pressure on you. So I did sales for Noah by Anderson for a few months, trying to get people to schedule free window consulting, and it's a lot harder to talk to people and drive the conversation when you feel as if you have to get something from it. If I feel like I'm selling you something, it's not genuine, it's not me. Whereas I'm so much better at bridging the gap and actually I'm better at selling myself when I'm just being me. So that's how I would say. Don't try and put on a fake version. Don't, because people can see that. So really just be yourself.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. I think being
Thank
yourself,
you.
like the thing I love about, and I love what you said a bit earlier about networking. I think networking is a scary word, and I love how you put it. I couldn't
It
agree with you.
is.
To me, networking is just making friends,
Yeah,
the right friends in the right places.
exactly.
Oh, I
You got
like
to
it.
know where to look.
Uh, and you certainly do, and you certainly do. And I love the way that you're putting it together. And you're obviously a very savvy networker. I can understand you've gone to quite a few events in the real world to do well. How have you networked so beautifully over LinkedIn? What are some of your LinkedIn networking tips for everyone out there?
Yeah, so LinkedIn, it's so powerful. It's honestly amazing. So I would say the biggest thing, it all relates back to the genuineness, just and the commonalities. Start looking at people who are work for jobs that you're potentially interested in, who maybe own a digital marketing company, what I did. And I found people who I'm actually interested in, and I messaged them. I said, "Hey, that's what you do is what I love, and you've already accomplished what I want to accomplish." And people can tell that it's genuine. It's not some bot just sending out 100 messages. It's a real person who actually wants to network. And what I've realized, 90 to 100% of the time, these people, they're interested back. If they respond, it leads to something. And you have to know the right people to connect with. You have to find people, like I said, who are interested in things that you're interested with, and then you can even venture out from that. I'm at the point where I connect with everyone because I see value in everyone. I think any phone call, it doesn't matter if they do digital marketing or not. It doesn't matter if they're in college. They can live in a completely different side of the world. They can be in a completely different country, and they don't have to be a digital marketer like you. It's still value. You can still talk to them and learn about their perspective on life. And for me personally, I see LinkedIn as such a powerful tool because you have access to every single country basically. Instagram does not put other people from different countries on your feed. It's not bringing you to follow those people. The algorithm brought me to you because I interacted with these people, and LinkedIn is just so powerful. It's You really should just take advantage and start messaging people. It's not hard. You just got to be yourself and be genuine.
Oh, that is so well said, Dakota. I was going to ask you as well, because just for the sake of the audience, we're doing this interview in early May 2020.
Yeah.
Globally, the world is coming out of Corona. Yeah, thank God to everyone. And
Yeah.
how? And I guess you're in New Jersey, New York, that part of town, obviously hit really hard by Corona. What's it been
Yeah.
like for you personally going through such? And I know you guys have had it way harder than us in Australia. What has it been like
hmm
for you, and how has it impacted and forced you to pivot business wise?
Yeah. So it's been very, very different. I'm not I feel very confined in a sense, and everyone does at this point. And for the first few weeks, I didn't really know what I wanted to do because everything was already locked down at that point. And I felt kind of lost because I went from networking and doing all this stuff at Rutgers to doing nothing. And that's when I found LinkedIn and all that stuff. So yeah, it's just very, very powerful.
And it's funny you say that
Yeah,
because I mean, I've loved it. Of course, I've loved LinkedIn all along. We all have. But LinkedIn has become the real hero during Corona because someone actually said to me,
I
Ed,
know.
imagine Corona without LinkedIn. I can't. It's like imagine Earth without oxygen.
I
How
can't.
would we cope without LinkedIn?
Yeah. Yeah. So basically, going back to your question, I had to pivot my networking to LinkedIn. And not only did I pivot it, I realized that it's another avenue that I have to incorporate within my business. I have to build a brand on there. It's so, so important. And I've learned so much. I've learned how you always have to put out value, how you just have to connect with people. And all these different people along the way have taught me. And it's just been so amazing.
Oh, Dakota, it's been incredible. And as we bring this awesome interview to its epic conclusion, I got to say bravo again. What are some of your closing thoughts and great pieces of advice for our viewers out there across the world?
Yeah, so it's never too late to start networking, guys. Some people may think that it's too late to jump on LinkedIn, it's too late to build their profile, it's too late to start building their brand, but it's never too late. There is a whole community of people waiting to network with you, waiting to make these meaningful, genuine connections, just like you. And there's so many good people out there who can actually change your life. I believe that if you take the time to network and actually build a community of people who you care with, that is so much more valuable than just trying to sell people products, trying to make money off them. You have to look at people as not an asset, but your friend, and that really goes a long way, especially for your brand and everything in the long run. One connection can change your life.
Oh,
And that
absolutely.
statement is it. Yeah, it's that statement gets used a lot, but it's so true, and I've experienced it. It's amazing.
Wow. One connection can change your life. Dakota, this has been incredible. And I just want to ask really quickly as well, how can people, and this is an obvious loaded question,
Yeah.
how can people get in contact with you? I wonder how they can connect with you. How can they find you,
I
Dakota?
wonder. Find me on LinkedIn, guys. Dakota Verrico. There you go. I'll have a new bio in a few days, ready to go. I post content basically every day, value content. So yeah, I'd love to connect. I would love to get to know you. Feel free to message me.
And before you go as well, Dakota, again, we've been talking a lot about this off camera. You've been working on your new bio, and I haven't seen it yet, but I understand it's very cool. What's that been
Yeah.
like, you working on your new bio? What have you gone through, and what's the journey of your new bio been like?
Yeah. So that was I was pushing that off for a while at first because the last time I edited my bio was December. And I can remember that night perfectly. I spent hours working on it, hours, because I'm a perfectionist and I want things to look perfect. So I pushed off updating my bio for a while and I was focusing on my clients, but I knew that I had to work on it. So I messaged you and you basically told me that it's not about being perfect. It's just about making the progress. And you really helped change my mindset on that whole aspect. And it's really helped me be able to just write it out and not have to feel like I'm criticizing myself after every word. Because as you said, it's going to have to get tweaked over and over again. And as you said, perfect isn't a real thing. So there's no reason to hold yourself to that standard. And that template that you gave me really, really helps as well. So I really appreciate everything, Edward.
Oh, Dakota, it's a pleasure, and I just got to say a big thank you. And one last thing before you go, and again, don't reveal any confidential details that'll get you in trouble with your clients. But where
Of
to from
course.
here? What secret stuff have you got cooking up, Dakota?
Yeah, so I'm looking to start a podcast within the next few weeks. Maybe get some live free Zoom consulting every week and tell someone how they can rebuild their LinkedIn. Maybe they'll tell me their networking problem and I can, just help them and I can put that out to the world as well. And in the future, I'm really just looking to just go up from here and just make people aware about the power of networking, just the power of connection. And I want to talk to people. I want people to hear this message. And my goal is to truly just inspire people and be on stages and helping people and changing the world.
Dakota, you're an inspiration. I got to say, what you're doing is amazing. You are decades ahead of the curve, and all I can say is keep up the greatness. And Dakota, everyone out there, please get in contact with Dakota. He's an amazing guy, as you can tell. Dakota, the final word to you, I just want to say thank you, and we absolutely appreciate you.
Edward, thank you so much. It's been such a pleasure. Thank you for having me.